You didn't do 3 years there, 2 championships, would have been 3 had you not got hurt.
Easily.
But in my opinion, after year 2, you were over it. You were done with it, and you were on to the next thing. But we had the opportunity to three-peat. And in my mind, what brought you back to Golden State for year 3 was just the opportunity to three-peat, but it didn't feel right for you no more. Am I right, wrong?
That's interesting because a lot of people, that's just a talk around me the last few years, and I get what people are saying because before I got to Golden State, I was just happy-go-lucky, like just bright-eyed to the experience, not knowing what was ahead. By the first year, I knew exactly what we needed to do in order for us to win every night. I knew what my role was to the T. Teams before, I didn't quite know what my role was every night. Did I have to be the scorer? Did I have to be the facilitator? Did I have to get other guys involved? Did I have to make threes? I knew exactly what my role was, and I locked on it with so much focus and determination to not fuck around every day. And you've seen it. From workouts to practices, shoot-arounds, film, I was super locked in, and it made people on the outside look at me like, hold on, is he enjoying this? When I dive into something like that, with that level of focus, I don't want to be anywhere else in life. That's the most enjoyable experience I ever had after that first one. If that was the case, I wouldn't have played 78 games that year. I would have just waited to the end of the season and tried to play in the playoffs. I played every game. I went hard every day. I cared about every matchup, no matter who was on the floor. Just my look and feel is like energetic or opening as it was before. And I like that. I like that I was closed off and focused on my work. I just maybe should have communicated that with more people who were interested in knowing what I was going through, but I had the most fun locking in and completing the task. You know what I'm saying? Because I knew we was gonna win every night. And it's rare to get to that point as an NBA player. Yeah. Knowing you're gonna win every night, so I just try to focus in and stay in the moment more than anything.
And for my own personal sanity, because I've been getting my ass kicked ever since you left. So just for my own personal sanity, how much did our argument against the Clippers drive you to ultimately lead the Warriors?
It wasn't the argument, it was the way that everybody, Steve Kerr act like it didn't happen, Bob Myers and tried to just discipline you and think that would put the mask over everything. I really felt like that was such a big situation for us as a group. The first time we went through something like that, we had to get that shit all out. I remember watching The Last Dance, and when Scottie didn't go into the game, the whole team in the locker room said, Scottie, that was fucked up that you did that. We needed that. We just needed to throw all of that shit out on the table and say, yo, Dre, K, like that was fucked up that we even had to go through that. Let's just wipe our hands with that and go finish the task. I don't think we did that and we tried to dance around it. I just didn't like how all of that, just the vibe between all of that, it just made shit weird to me. And I'd rather us be who we say we are, family first. Communication is key. Like we didn't show that, and that's what rubbed me the wrong way more than anything.
When we landed back from LA, I sat Hazel was sitting in the car for an hour and 45 minutes. They pulled me in that room at Signature for an hour and 45 minutes, and they tried to tell me, you need to apologize. And I told them, I'll talk to Kay, but y'all aren't going to tell me what I need to say. Mm-hmm. And, you know, they went on for an hour and 45 minutes saying a bunch of bullshit. And ultimately, they realized, all right, we're not getting through to him. We're gonna try again in the morning. And so we met the next morning, and they said, all right, you slept on it, you ready to apologize? And I told them right then and there, I said, y'all about to fuck this up. I said, the only person that can make this right is me and Kay. And there's nothing that y'all can do, and y'all are going to fuck this up. And in my opinion, they fucked it up.
I think so too.
And they told me right then and there, like, we're going to suspend you for this game. I laughed in their face, literally laughed in their face. And Bob said to me, he said, wow, that was not the reaction I was looking for or expecting. And I said, well, either I'm gonna laugh in your face or I'm gonna cuss you the fuck out. So you pick, I'm gonna choose laugh. So I think what you're doing is funny, and so I'm gonna laugh. And so it's interesting to hear you say essentially the same thing that I told them that day.
since I've been in the league.
Speaking of letting people be themselves, Draymond Green is another big personality and what have you. A lot was made about the altercation against the Clippers when y'all were playing, and folks even alluded to that playing somewhat of a role in you electing to walk away from Golden State and go to Brooklyn. Speak to that at all, the relationship you had with Draymond Green. Speak to whether or not that had any impact whatsoever in your decision to leave Golden State.
Yeah, I wish that wouldn't have happened. I feel like that was a situation that definitely could have been avoided. It really came out of nowhere. And for us, you know, everybody was just looking for something to tear us down with, you know, and I think they used that. And that just brought in the firestorm from, you know, free agency to every day it was about my free agency. Every day it was about my disposition as a player, what I look like on the bench, what I look like, you know, during the game. So it opened up a lot of nonsense, you know, I think that could have been avoided. And me and Draymond talked about it.
But what I will say is this, I don't know if nonsense is the word that you can use if you listen to what Draymond said a couple of weeks ago on Adrian Wojnarowski's podcast, where he talked about how Steve Kerr, Bob Myers came to him saying that he needed to apologize to you for how he came at you. He said he refused at that particular moment in time because that's just not how he felt, until he looked into your eyes and saw that his brother was hurt by what he said. Were you hurt? How exactly was it that you felt at that time when everything went down?
When I say nonsense, I mean other people trying to jump in on a story and create something off of it when they don't really know all the facts.
Got it.
And I think that was annoying for everybody on the team. But Draymond knew that he was out of line. And as men, we talked about it. And everybody around tried to get us to, mend it fast because of the season. And we wanted to win. But, like, he had his process on how he wanted to handle things. And I respected that. And I had my process. And eventually we came together.
Last question on this subject, just to be clear, because I don't recall an answer to this question. Did that play a role in you leaving Golden State?
A little bit, yeah, for sure.
You want to expand on that at all?
Yeah, I mean, your teammate talked to you that way, you think about it a bit. But, you know, like I said, we talked about it, but definitely, for sure, I'm not going to lie about it.
Katie, why do you ultimately decide to leave?
I just felt like I needed a switch. I felt like a lot of stuff in Golden State had reared its head, and I felt like that was just going to be the end no matter what, especially for that group. Sean Livingston was retiring, Andre Iguodala was getting older. Our contracts were going to stifle the team and put us in the hole to get other players. So I was just like, you know, it was time for all of us to kind of separate.
So you've been criticized a lot, including by Stephen A. at first, and also I've talked about a lot the fact that once you joined Golden State, that team is a juggernaut. That team was a 73-win team without you. They didn't need KD to be invincible, a lesser player than you. They still would have been invincible. With you, it gets ridiculous. So the 2 championships and the MVPs and everything, yeah, but how could they lose? Was going to Brooklyn at all related to that? Like, let me go somewhere to show what I can do to a team that doesn't have championship aspirations.
No. I told you what my name was and who I am before. You know, you've seen what I've done. I don't have to prove to you that I can win the way you want me to.
What about you? What about yourself? Prove to yourself.
My job is to perfect my craft. That's what I do every single day, with or without championships.
But isn't part of your craft, it's not a one-on-one sport, it's a team sport. Isn't part of your craft at your level when you're being compared to LeBron James and Larry Bird and the best who ever played the position in game, et cetera, isn't part of it leading a group of guys to be more than the sum of their parts?
I've been playing this game my whole life. I've mastered the team game. I've been in every situation, so I got a lot of experience. So no matter what's thrown at me at this point from all angles, from a leadership standpoint, just a player, from a defensive standpoint, offensive standpoint, I know how to do everything.
Can I get in here real quick? I had one question, because we talked about this a lot on the show. I was convinced you were going to the Knicks. You chose the Nets. Obviously, any team would have wanted you. Why did you choose Brooklyn when you had all the other suitors?
Well, I just think I was going to the Knicks.
Why?
That's what I said.
Nobody said anything to me. It was just a pure gut feeling. I think I was hoping you were going to Knicks, to be honest with you. I'm just happy we got you on the East Coast.
Rub it in.
I'm just saying.
You ain't got rubbing.
You made the right choice.
Did you
Oh,
even consider the Knicks, KD?
I mean, I talked about this plenty of times. You know, I think.
I need to hear it again, though.
I think the Nets was a team that I've been kind of looking at for the last few years, just as an up and coming franchise, and to have an opportunity to be a free agent when they were at this point of seeing some growth within the franchise. I thought it was a great opportunity to combine and partner.
As we all know, in 2016, Kevin Durant shocked the basketball world by leaving the Oklahoma City Thunder to join the Golden State Warriors, forming a super team that would dominate the NBA for 3 years. But the story had an abrupt end. After 3 consecutive finals and 2 titles, Durant opted to leave in 2019, heading to the Brooklyn Nets. Several factors culminated in this decision. Despite his undeniable success, Durant never felt fully integrated with the Warriors. The narrative of joining a ready team haunted him, and he was seen as a compliment, not the protagonist. Durant's relationship with Draymond Green, the Warriors' emotional pillar, deteriorated. A heated public argument during a game exposed internal tensions and Durant's dissatisfaction with his role on the team. Durant, a generational talent, wanted to build his own legacy. The shadow of Stephen Curry, the Warriors' beloved leader, prevented him from being seen as primarily responsible for the team's success. He aimed to lead his own journey, free from comparisons. The rebuilding Brooklyn Nets offered Durant the opportunity to be the centerpiece of an ambitious project. The chance to build a dynasty from scratch, alongside Kyrie Irving, was irresistible. The rupture of Durant's Achilles tendon in the 2019 final also influenced his decision. The injury cast doubt on his future and made him question his priorities. Durant's departure from the Warriors was a milestone in the history of the NBA, generating debates about ambition, legacy, and the search for one's own narrative. He left behind a dynasty, but in search of individual affirmation, building his own path, marked by challenges and the incessant search for glory. While the Warriors tried to rebuild, Durant embarked on a new journey. The future would reserve new chapters for the player's story, full of uncertainty, but with the promise of a legacy built on his own terms. Today we know how it all ended, and we have several rumors about Kevin Durant's supposed return to the Warriors. And do you, Dub Nation, believe Durant would return to Golden State? Or do you believe that Kevin Durant would only return if Draymond Green left? Stay tuned for more updates on the Warriors, and remember to support by leaving your feedback in the comments section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications to know when I will send new news. Thank you for following Gold-Blooded News. A hug and see you next time.
We're gold-blooded.
Let's go Dubs.